is somewhere on one of the chairs. Underneath one of the chairs, there's a ticket, and that ticket makes you a winner of your centerpiece. Okay, so our last session of the day, and this is a really important session because, you know, we hear so much about AI. We hear so much about artificial intelligence, and we're going to tell you about the good things and how it can really save you a lot of time and get your life back on track. So Rhiannon Johns from Pet Friendly Services of Indiana is leading this presentation. She's the marketing manager for Pet Friendly Services of Indiana with 11 years of experience in nonprofit marketing and communications. She joined Pet Friendly in 2020 after 6 years at the Indianapolis Monumental Marathon. Originally from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Rhi grew up surrounded by pets and wildlife with a mother who cared for orphaned animals. She shares her home with her husband, Zach, and their two big rescue dogs, Archie and Moby. Rhi holds a Master's of Science in Mathematics from the University of Alabama in Birmingham. Welcome, Rhiannon Johns.
Last session of the day. I got everyone who was really a trooper. Thank you for staying. Thank you for being here. Sherry probably could have introduced me as that weird person walking around with two cameras, taking everyone's photo. If that's any indication of who I am, I'm much likely happier behind the camera than in front of it. So I will also tell you, I had a dream last night where I shared this presentation with Sherry. She hated it, changed everything, and made me get up here anyway. So I have already lived the experience of this going as bad as it possibly can. Now I'm invincible. Just so I have a sense of who's here, how many of you have used ChatGPT or something similar before? Great. AI image generators, anybody? Okay. Now, who thinks they are super tech savvy? Awesome. Who's like, I'm okay? Good. How many people still haven't reset their oven or microwave since this time change? Okay. Anyway, this is for you. You don't need to be super tech savvy. Also, all the tools I'm going to describe today are completely free. There are paid versions that gives you a little bit more power, but what I'm going to show you, you can do for the free accounts. So we're going to go through what AI can and can't do. Going to give you some helpful tips, and then we're going to talk about some AI image generators, and then if we still have time, I'm going to show you how things can go horribly, horribly wrong. So ChatGPT can write almost anything. If you like writing, if you hate writing, it's a great tool you can use. It will not replace you. You have to check it. Anything you write, it really likes emojis if you tell it to do social media, and it gets to be a little bit much. Other than that, it can help with brainstorming, it can automate and speed up tasks, it can create images, and it can proofread things that you like. What it can't do, the things you're already doing. Empty litter boxes, walk dogs, drive all the way across town to meet that adopter that's definitely going to be on time. But it can help you do all these other things faster in such a way that you can get back to helping the animals that you love. First, let's talk about ChatGPT. It made this image. So it's a powerful tool, like I just said. For documents you already have, it can proofread, and you can adjust them for tone, clarity, and the audience. If you're using one type of document that you really like, that really resonates with your key donors, you can also have it rewrite it with someone who doesn't really know as much about your organization. Am I doing something wrong? This screen. Oh, that screen isn't moving again. Well done. It was working a second ago. Oh, that'd be great.
We done made the AI man.
I know, right?
Might ask how many techies are there.
Yeah, did Joe go somewhere? Or Josh, or Rebecca, or someone who is not me? Because I would ask ChatGPT to do this. Hello, tech support. It was moving. Probably. Yeah, it is. I'm so mad.
Alright, it's working for
You
me.
good? Just clicking?
Yep, just
Okay.
click on.
I'm gonna use the arrows. Okay. We are back. Please don't go very far away, Rebecca. I need you. So, and in things with communications you're using, I know we've all had the same thing. We have one thing that works, and you want to keep saying the same exact thing over and over again. I'm guilty of it. You can feed this into ChatGPT and have it refresh it for you. Be like, it's the same audience, but say it a little bit different. I will say, always check your work. It has a tendency to make things up. It's getting better. So there are some tricks that you can use to make it work better for you. Have a conversation. This is my main tip. Do not just ask it to do something. Have an interaction where you can craft what you want it to do. You can also feed it previous examples of what you have that you like. I'll get back to that in a minute. But let's look at this example here. So you probably can't read that. I know it's really tiny. My prompt is, we are an animal rescue located in Indiana. One of our dogs, Pongo, has been at the shelter for a very long time with little interest. Write a social media post to help him get attention. Great. It comes out with something that is fine. It is a generic social media post about Pongo. It knows nothing about Pongo. It made it up. So you can assume this would be great. I mean, he probably loves belly rubs and playtime. He's probably loyal and full of cuddles. But you can make this a lot better by having a conversation. So this is the exact same prompt, except at the end, I wrote, first, ask me 3 questions that will help you perform this task better. So it asked me, what is his personality like? Are there any adoption requirements or ideal home situations for him? Do you have any heartwarming or fun facts about Pongo? You bet I did. So I said he's energetic, good with other dogs, loves tennis balls. He will need a fenced-in yard and an energetic family. Also, he's a Dalmatian, and he was temporarily owned by Cruella de Vil. You can see my child coming out here. So first, ChatGPT compliments me on my facts. Unnecessary, thank you, benevolent robot. But then it proceeds to make a much more specifically crafted post. So now it has the details. It knows a bit more about Pongo. I said 3 questions, you could do 5, you could do 10. It will get into the details. And this isn't only for social media, this is for press releases, this is for thank you notes, this is for anything you write. Have a conversation with it first. You don't know what it doesn't know. It does. So if you ask it to ask you questions, the output will be that much more crafted to what you want it to do. What's next? Do you ever wish you could clone yourself? I'm sure, does anyone in this room have enough time to do everything they want in a day? No, of course not. So this comes back to an earlier point that I made. You have things that have worked before. You have a social media post that went viral for no reason. You have a press release that went really well. You have thank you letters, you have brochures. These are the things that you know work. Whatever type of file format it is in, PDF, Microsoft Word, Google Doc, you can feed it into ChatGPT and hey, make more of these in this tone and voice. I'm giving away all my secrets with my boss in the room, but we write a lot of press releases. We have a specific format that we like and it works. Now when I write a new press release, I go, here, look at this press release. Write a similar press release about whatever is next. And then again, I will use the same prompt as before. Ask me 3 to 5 questions that will help you do this better. You don't need to recreate the wheel every time. If you have things that work, just use them again in a slightly better way. Again, always check your work. Do stuff faster. How many of you use spreadsheets? How many of you love spreadsheets? You would love to spend all day in a spreadsheet. Okay, I feel you people, my degree's in math, I understand. But I imagine there's a couple of people that don't want to spend all day in them and would probably rather empty litter boxes. If you're using the free version of ChatGPT, you are a little bit limited in the amount you can do per day, but you can still do things like this. So, for example, this is a spreadsheet called Realistic Donor Data. Coincidentally, it was made by ChatGPT. Do not come after Ryan Moore, Melanie Hall, Jason Cox for donations. They're not real. This is all fake. So if you have a spreadsheet like this, you can do things like make me a Word file of printable shipping labels from the information in the spreadsheet. That's all I asked it. Didn't have to map the headings, didn't have to do a mail merge, didn't have to fight with the formatting, and it spit out this. Just one question. Okay, but not every printer is the same, not every label is the same. So what if I wanted it in 2 columns? It can do that too. Specifically, if you know, this is getting a little bit in the weeds, but if you know the model number and the Avery 5395, you can tell it to do that specifically, and it will come out with a Microsoft Word file. It can also read PDFs, it can read Microsoft PowerPoint, it can read Excel files, anything in the Microsoft suite you can kind of do with it. Just going down the rabbit hole further of donor stuff. Again, these are fake people. Oh, no, something came up on my screen. We're good. This file contains donor data for pet-friendly services. Generate a thank you letter for each donor. Put them all in one Word file. You could also ask it to make PDFs. And then it spits these out. And this is without me giving it any information about who we are or what we do. I know this is too tiny to read, but it says, Dear Grace, thank you so much for your generous donation to $10 to Pet Friendly Services of Indiana. Your support is helping us provide spay-neuter surgeries to animals in need across the state, preventing unwanted litters and saving lives. Your contribution makes a direct impact on our mission, and we're deeply grateful for your partnership. Together, we're creating a future where where every pet is wanted and loved. With heartfelt thanks. That was pretty good. It knew our mission, it thanked them, and in the file that it put out, it made one for every donor, ready to go straight to the printer. Perfect, it's all right. So that was just the generic thank you letter it gave us without any input. We have an established thank you letter. So in this case, I was here. Look at this thank you letter we've used before, create it again in our voice. So in this case, we get the output it has our federal ID number, it has all of the information we normally put in a thank you letter, and again, it generated one for each of the donors, ready to print, ready to go, no fighting with mail merge. And you can ask it to do further tweaking, but instead of having to fight with mail merge or Excel or Microsoft, a couple of simple questions can generate these for you, and it saves me a lot of time. Yes. Yeah. And then while we're in the Microsoft suite, make me a PowerPoint presentation about how shelters and rescues can use ChatGPT to get more things done. I'm not going to show you the whole thing it came out because I still want my job. But in particular, the last slide, ChatGPT is a powerful tool for busy shelters and rescues. Think of it as a helper, not a replacement. Use it to boost your impact and save times for what matters most, the animals. So, not bad. I mean, it's not me, but... Again, watch it. It really likes emojis. I take out so many emojis. This is another great use case. So the mediator you always wanted but didn't know you did. So everyone in this room is passionate about animals. That's why you're here. ChatGPT is a robot. It has no feelings. It cannot get insulted. It cannot get angry. I know that every single one of you has probably had an experience with a person who gets angry online at you for reasons they don't understand. Or they come at you in email, or they make a post about you. It is so easy to respond so quickly and be so angry, no matter how wrong they are. But you can use this passionless robot to respond in a much more, I don't want to say responsible, but way that can de-escalate a situation. I wouldn't suggest using the exact answer. I would tweak it to your voice, because anyone who gets an answer from ChatGPT might get more angry. But you can ask it to, what would be a professional, efficient way to respond to this, and tell it it's a Facebook comment, to take this argument offline. Or how do I respond to this email in a professional way that conveys X, Y, and Z without being too angry? Or calmly and professionally explain this to this person who has encountered this situation. It is a passionless robot. It will not get angry at you. It will never be insulted. So you can use this, because I know just as well as anyone who monitors Facebook comments that it can be so easy when people are so wrong about things. This one, image generators. They are moving at the speed of light. By the time I made this presentation, the ChatGPT one updated and totally changed. So this is an ever-evolving space. They are free. You can get paid ones. Everything I did on here, I used free accounts. But you are limited to a certain number per day, or sometimes they throttle you and make you slower. But you just kind of have to play with them and see which ones works for you. And I'm going to go through 3 or 4 examples. There are a lot out there right now. And since you're limited to a couple of free ones per day, you can use several of them. The biggest one is formerly DALL-E, now ChatGPT. That changed last week. That is the greatest one for beginners, because like what we did just previously, you can have a conversation. You don't need any technical skills. You don't need any photo editing ability at all. You also have the ability to upload things and tell it to make something like this. You can upload a file and say, make an image like this one. That is probably the easiest one. Again, that's gonna slow you down if you do. I think you get up to two per day with a free account. That also changes frequently. Another one is Leonardo AI. It's very user-friendly. You can't, as of yesterday morning, upload a file into it to edit. That could change. It makes really artsy images, and you can change the style if you need to. A new one that I found was Ideogram, and it is really good for accurate text. That is one of the pitfalls I'm sure you've seen of ChatGPT, is it really likes to spell things horribly wrong. So this one, you can get 4 images a day on a free account, and you can upload your images if you have a paid account on that one. And then Bing AI, as we will see, it tries. I would not recommend this one. Oh, so yes, these are great for event promotion, making logos for a special or some sort of event you're having, merchandise design, brainstorming ideas. You can ask it to make several